We might feel safe in our little corner of the world, but our Foreign Ministry today issued a bleak warning saying the future looks grim. Its latest State of the Globe report goes as far as saying conflict could occur in our Pacific backyard as geopolitical concerns ramp up. The main players are China and the US, who are vying for supremacy in the Indo-Pacific region. There's a shift from a rules-based system to a power-based system. Political editor Jenna Lynch reports.
Fresh from a charm offensive in China, the Prime Minister pleased the East and is currently in Europe appeasing the West. Our straddling act becoming progressively precarious as global power shifts and the world grapples with compounding crises.
One way of thinking about it is the term Polycrises.
It's all laid bare in a new strategic assessment crafted by our top diplomat, Foreign Affairs Secretary Chris Seed, dubbed Navigating a Shifting World. It's the first time the Foreign Ministry's publicly released its 3-yearly state of play. Its conclusion, the future looks grim.
A candid assessment, but a thoughtful one.
The report identifies a shift from rules to power, warning the days of our Pacific safe haven are numbered, spelling out in black and white New Zealand faces a less stable Indo-Pacific region where interstate conflict could occur.
That'll sound scary to a lot of New Zealanders.
Well, I think it's a case of being aware and alert, but not being anxious.
Because with North Korea's nuclear arsenal, its frequent missile testing regime and unresolved land and sea border disputes in the region like the South China Sea, it might happen.
All of those create risks of interstate conflict.
Even if not intentionally.
Our concern would be about state-on-state conflict because of accident or miscalculation.
A US-China conflict would be catastrophic, and the risk of that is not zero.
There is always some risk where there isn't confidence about the and guardrails which shape the way in which great powers engage with each other.
Are we being pressured behind closed doors to pick a side?
I don't believe so.
The report says New Zealand's traditionally seen itself as protected from global threats by its geography and a relatively peaceful region. So a key pillar of our foreign affairs strategy has been trade. But the assessment warns as geopolitical and security considerations loom larger, New Zealand will be less able to prioritise economic priorities and will likely need to devote more energy to defence and security.
Are we seeing the end of the rules-based order?
I wouldn't use the term the end. I think we're definitely seeing it challenged. We're definitely seeing it stressed.
Therefore, the grim outlook.
We can get through the grim.
Delivering a little optimism alongside his bleak state of play.
Well, kia ora, Jenna. This is pretty big stuff. Is the rules-based order of the world really under threat?
The list of potential threats and risks in this report is a mile long, but the three big shifts that it identifies are a shift from efficiency to resilience, a shift from economics to security, and that shift from rules to power. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is the most obvious example of a flagrant flouting of international rules in favour of an exertion of power. But the report also name-checks China more assertively pursuing trade, economic initiatives to more assertively to enhance China's influence and challenge some of those international rules and norms. Aside from all of those geostrategic tensions, the report also mentions the ongoing crises of climate change, inflation, food security, the emergence of new technology like AI, and the potential for a resurgence of terrorist organisations like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. That is why Chris Seed is using the term polycrises and ultimately why he's given that outlook of grim.
Gosh, yes, there's certainly a lot going on. Jenna, thanks so much for the update.